Rush built a formidable legacy not only through their studio work but also through a series of powerful live albums that captured the intensity of Geddy Lee, Lifeson, and Neil Peart on stage. Those records allowed listeners who had never attended a Rush concert to feel the surge of energy, the precision, and the way familiar songs could grow bigger and more dramatic in a live setting. Geddy Lee has often spoken about the musicians and recordings that shaped him, and on more than one occasion, he has pointed to two live albums that left a lasting mark on his musical DNA. Looking back on his formative years, he explained that many live records influenced him, but The Who's Live at Leeds stood above most others. Released in 1970, that album went on to inspire generations of musicians, including figures as influential as Eddie Van Halen. For Geddy, the magic of Live at Leeds lies in its raw, unpolished sound. As a devoted Who fan from a young age, his journey began with My Generation. He vividly remembers buying Live at Leeds on a Saturday morning and being struck by John Entwistle's bass work. Entwistle's playing on that album, especially on My Generation, became a benchmark that Geddy still considers unmatched. He was also deeply impressed by Summertime Blues, a performance so impactful that Rush later covered the song largely because of The Who's version. Although Geddy did see The Who perform live in Winnipeg, it was after Keith Moon had passed away, something he still regrets. Even so, he has always held Pete Townshend's songwriting in the highest regard, praising its rare balance of heaviness and melody. To this day, Live at Leeds feels alive to him, like a snapshot of a specific era in rock history, complete with its rough edges, bootleg-like presentation, and fearless attitude. Geddy has frequently stated that Townshend is his favorite rock songwriter and that modern rock would look very different without The Who. He also considers John Entwistle the greatest rock bassist ever. He often notes that, much like Rush, The Who functioned essentially as a three-piece band, since Roger Daltrey typically focused solely on vocals. Rush later paid tribute by recording The Seeker for their 2004 covers album Feedback. The second live album that profoundly influenced Geddy came from Humble Pie. He has described their live release as a turning point for many young musicians of his generation. Stevie Marriott's live performances thrilled him, and Marriott became one of his earliest vocal inspirations. Early comparisons between Rush and bands like Humble Pie and Led Zeppelin reflected those roots. Released in 1971, Performance, Rockin' the Fillmore held special importance for Geddy. He gravitated towards singers with higher ranges, and Marriott's voice left a clear imprint on his early singing style. He later reflected that his musical upbringing was shaped less by American blues itself and more by how that blues was transformed in England, amplified, and sent back across the Atlantic. While he was often compared to Robert Plant, Geddy believes Stevie Marriott was a closer match due to his soulful tone, strong vibrato, and raw rock power. That Humble Pie record also influenced Rush's decision to make their first live album, All the World's a Stage, released in 1976. Following the success of 2111, management encouraged the band to capitalize on their momentum as live albums were becoming increasingly popular. With 3 homecoming shows scheduled at Massey Hall in Toronto, recording a live album suddenly felt like the right move. Humble Pie themselves were formed in 1969 by Steve Marriott, Peter Frampton, Greg Ridley, and Jerry Shirley. In just a few years, they released several studio albums alongside the influential Performance Rockin' the Fillmore, a record that not only defined their career, but also helped shape the path of bands like Rush.